What's not to love about NFL football? For the past 36 consecutive seasons, four new teams have made the playoffs each and every year. Last year, I gave my predictions on TikTok at The Culture Magazine and went 2 for 4, choosing the reigning Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks and Jacksonville Jaguars. This year, I'll present my picks in video form, so with no further ado, let's dive right in. My first selection is the Cincinnati Bengals. As you can see from their offensive stats, they're one of the better units in the league last year, even without Joe Burrow for about half the season. Going into next year, though, they should repeat their success from 2024 and prove to have the best quarterback to wide receiver connection in the sport, as well as Chase Brown and T. Higgins to keep this offensive attack high powered and versatile, as all three of those guys are capable of taking over a game any given Sunday. They also went out and shocked the NFL world a bit by acquiring superstar defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence and reigning Super Bowl champion Boye Mafe on the edge. Focusing more on Lawrence, while he had a bit of a down year last year numbers-wise, I don't think there's much debate at all about how great of a player he is and the difference he'll make on this defense. And then moving on to Mafe, he's not a crazy high sack percentage guy yet, but as a Seahawks fan who's seen every single one of his games so far in his professional career, he's got all the tools to be great. He's a speed strength freak, a willing and more than capable run defender, and he's got a motor that runs far beyond the whistle. The Dallas Cowboys will be next up on this list, and they've got a case to be the best offense in the sport. The numbers from last year help support that case, and with the continuity they have on that side of the ball, I don't see any reason they can't keep up that success going into next year. Obviously, the duo of Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb need no introduction, as they've been one of the best in the sport for the past half decade. I mentioned Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase being the best connection in the sport, and CeeDee and Dak are just behind them. Looking over a little bit at the other wide receiver in this offense, I think both these guys will be playing with a chip on their shoulder coming into this season. CeeDee will be aiming to prove he's still the clear-cut wide receiver one in Dallas after Pickens came in and balled out in his absence. And then on the other hand, Pickens will be playing with that upcoming payday on the forefront of his mind, whether that be an extension from Dallas or another team fronting the bill. I've heard some creators call this offense the equivalent of Seattle's defense from last year due to how versatile and lethal it projects to be, and its comparison I like a lot. While Schottenheimer isn't exactly the level of play caller Mike McDonald is, he's still a great offensive mind who has tons of experience under his belt. For example, he had that top 5 scoring offense last year, and in his 3 years with Seattle, he led them to 3 playoff berths and 3 top 10 offenses.
Just drop it in the bucket, Dak.
Prescott loads up. Pickens hand fighting into the end zone. Touchdown.
Moving over to the other side of the ball, rookie safety Caleb Downs was their biggest addition. While safeties can be seen as less valuable than other defenders, Downs is just different. Fellow rookie Fernando Mendoza called him a true X factor, which I agree with entirely. He's great in the run fits, he can play in the box, and he's a plus man and zone defender. So he should be a big help for this Dallas defense.
He's the Swiss Army knife of college football.
They also went out and acquired edge rusher Rashawn Gary over the offseason, who may be a bit past his prime, but will certainly be an upgrade for this pass rush unit. Moving on, I think the New Orleans Saints have a solid chance of getting over the hump this year. While last season was pretty rough, the Saints brought in 2 new weapons on offense during the offseason, which should allow Kellen Moore to really get in his bag and create lots of scoring opportunities. The first of the new weapons being the 96th best player in the league according to the NFL 100, Travis Etienne. He's coming off a great year with the Jags and is a perfect dual threat back for this Kellen Moore scheme. The second weapon being the 8th overall pick in this past NFL draft, Jordan Tyson. Jordan checks just about all the boxes you'd like and a big-time receiver prospect, standing at 6'2", 200 pounds. He's an extremely fluid route runner who's willing to put his body on the line to go up and get it, and excels at picking up yards after the catch. He's had some lingering injury issues though, so that could potentially be something to keep an eye on, but I think he'll be a great fit in New Orleans. An entire offseason to better familiarize himself with the system and build chemistry with his teammates will be huge for Tyler Shuck as well. I know he gets a lot of flack for being almost 27, which is pretty absurd, but I still expect a significant sophomore leap for a guy who flashed signs of stardom as a rookie. I mean, just look at some of these clips. He's mobile enough to navigate the pocket, he's He's got a little wiggle to him. He can get out in space and pick up a first down, pick up a touchdown in short yardage situations. He's got a rocket of an arm. He can throw off platform. He can fit it in tight windows. He's fairly accurate overall. So, there's a lot to like here, and I think he's got a lot of potential. He balled out against the Carolina Panthers last year as well, proving him and his squad have what it takes to win in this weak conference. And the Panthers should be their main competition here, so I feel like that is a very good sign for Saints fans going forward.
Pressure coming. Chuck has a moment. Goes deep down the sideline, and the catch is made.
The defense was around the middle of the road last year, and they project to stay there. They lost to Mario Davis to free agency, but he was a little past his prime anyway, and brought in Caden Ellis as a replacement, who is a solid backer. They'll also be looking to new free agent signing Martin Emerson and Kool-Aid McKinstry to step up after losing Alontae Taylor to free agency as well. McKinstry especially was seen as a blue-chip guy coming out of Bama due to his physicality and athleticism, so he'll be hoping to have that year 3 breakout that we so often see in skill positions after allowing 8 receiving touchdowns last season. The Minnesota Vikings will be next up on this list due to their overall roster retention, including the coaching staff. And when talking Minnesota football, Justin Jefferson has to be the initial topic of conversation. He's coming off the worst statistical season of his career due to some of the worst quarterback play of all time, as J.J. McCarthy ranked in the 50s in adjusted net completion percentage, and don't even get me started on Max Brosmer. But let's not forget about the elite pace Jefferson was on heading into this year. He was tracking to be one of, if not the greatest wide receiver of all time. And with the continuity in this scheme outside the quarterback position, I expect him to get right back to that success. Shifting the focus over to that new quarterback in the scheme, Kyler Murray. And while his departure from Arizona was anything but graceful, let's not forget he's been a pretty damn good quarterback up to this point in his career. And he definitely has his problems. He bails out of the pocket too early sometimes. He can't really throw over the middle all that well. But I think you take those issues 100 times over rather than deal with the quarterback play from last year. So I think if he can just come in, be moldable, be a high-level game manager like we saw from Sam Darnold in 2024, limit turnovers, and throw a little Kyler Murray magic in there from time to time, make some plays, I think he can propel this offense to new heights. And when you pair that with this Brian Flores defense, I think you're looking at a playoff team in the NFC North. Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, the squad projects to remain elite even after losing Jonathan Grenard. Brian Flores is one of the game's best defensive coordinators and is seemingly always getting the best out of players who have been great in other schemes. Their first-round pick, Caleb Banks, in particular, is a guy I'm sure he was advocating for heavily, as he looked like a monster on tape in his time at Florida, and he kind of just looks like a monster overall, standing at 6'6", 330 pounds. But he moves great, especially for his size. He ran a 5 40, he had a 1.76 10-yard split, and a 9'6" broad jump as well. Those numbers are right around the average for D tackles overall, but for a guy of his stature, they are great. Dallas Turner is another young talent that I'm sure Viking fans adore. He was the co-defensive player of the SEC in his last season at Alabama, and he was the second defensive player taken in the 2024 draft. After a slow rookie season, he was this team's sack leader in 2025, playing a pass rush heavy role, and he only saw a full-time snap share when either Van Ginkel was down or Grenard was injured. But with Grenard's departure, I expect Turner to play a more 3-down role this year, and the sky's really the limit on his production and overall potential then.
He's sacked by Dallas Turner.
With that being said, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I ask that you leave a like and subscribe, as it helps promote the video to others who might enjoy this kind of content.